Instead of yapping about how good this manhwa is, I will just tell you some story. Then you can decide what you want to do. So just give me your 10 minutes and you will want part 2 of this manhwa. The story opens in the capital of Beijing, Jinxiang, where a massive, glowing ritual is taking place. A masked general bows and asks for the order to begin from a man addressed as General Li Chiol-su. But Li Chiol-su isn't just any general. He is a eunuch, means he don't have his weapon, and he is the absolute power behind the puppet empress of the modern Ming Empire. He is known as the worst villain in history, a man who monopolizes the court's authority and manipulates the empire's politics from the shadows. He personally pulled the strings to make the insignificant third princess into the empress, gaining so much power that people say he could make birds fall from the sky. But despite having the world in the palm of his hand, there is one critical thing he cannot do. We cut to Chiol-su staring intensely at a highly explicit 19-plus romance book, sighing in absolute frustration. Suddenly, the doors fly open. It's Empress Yuan Hua, crying her eyes out. She begs the old man to stop this mysterious, forbidden ritual at once. Desperate, she asks what he could possibly be lacking, promising to give him infinite wealth and absolute power if he just stays. But Chiol-su's face is completely serious. He tells Her Majesty that his decision is final and asks for forgiveness for leaving her. Internally, he questions himself. Why is he so utterly obsessed with getting some sacks? Others might not get it, but for him, it is the most crucial matter in the universe. You see, Chiol-su has a tragic secret. From his past life all the way now, he has been stuck as a virgin for over 50 years. He was originally from the modern world until he got hit by the classic reincarnation truck, ending up in the martial world of Yongwon. Dying at 28 and coming back as a 12-year-old was bearable, but then the worst possible tragedy happened. He was kidnapped by a slaver trafficker who forcefully snipped him, taking away his precious manhood and selling him as a eunuch. He dedicated his entire life to fixing his missing equipment. He mastered martial arts to the absolute peak, becoming the top warrior in the imperial palace, all just to secure a meeting with a legendary physician. But the doctor delivered crushing news. Science and magic cannot create something out of nothing. To Chiol-su, all the money, power, and martial arts in the world are completely worthless if he's still missing his little buddy. So he makes a drastic choice. He will use a forbidden ritual to reincarnate into a new body, strictly so he can experience a life of pure pleasure, surrounded by stunning beauties, and finally experience some pleasure. The Empress is forcefully escorted away, kicking and screaming. Chiol-su admits that while he almost gave in to her tears, he genuinely only sees the Empress as a little sister, not a romantic partner. A masked subordinate warns him that the reincarnation ritual has a 99% death rate, but Chiol-su doesn't care. To him, living without his manhood is a fate worse than death. The ritual activates, swallowing him in a massive vortex of pink energy. Chiol-su slowly opens his eyes to find himself laying on a straw mat in the middle of a forest. An old, balding man leans over him, kindly saying he found him collapsed near the pass and is glad he's safe. But Chiol-su's eyes widen in pure, unadulterated rage. He recognizes this man instantly. It's Wang Sam, the exact same slave trafficker who castrated him 50 years ago. Chiol-su's mind races. He thought Wang Sam died years ago. He suddenly realizes he didn't reincarnate into a new body. He regressed back in time. Panic sets in. My manhood! He screams internally, reaching down to aggressively check his pants. He breathes a massive sigh of relief. His equipment is fully intact. Playing the part of the innocent savior, the trafficker Wang Sam asks if the boy is hurt anywhere. Chiol-su plays along for a second, claiming his wrist hurts. Wang Sam takes the bait, offering to take the boy home to apply some herbs. But Chiol-su gives a dark, sinister smile that sends chills down the old man's spine. What? Chiol-su asks coldly. So you can kidnap me again, cut off my manhood, and sell me as a eunuch? Wang Sam is absolutely terrified, stammering and wondering how this random kid knows his secret plan. But Chiol-su is already moving. Even though he's in the body of a child, he still possesses the flawless muscle memory and techniques of the Imperial Palace's absolute top martial artist. Chiol-su unleashes 50 years of absolute fury, brutally punching the trafficker straight in the face. Die, you bastard! He screams, beating the slaver to a bloody pulp for ruining his past life, and turning him into a castrate who couldn't enjoy his wealth. Standing victorious over the unconscious trafficker, Cheol-su looks up at the sky. He realizes it completely doesn't matter whether this is reincarnation or regression. Thrusting his fist into the air with burning determination, he loudly declares his ultimate new life goal. From now on, I will live for sex. The story picks up 2 months later. Our regressed main character, Lee Cheol-su, is currently trudging through a massive snowstorm, climbing the treacherous Joint Mountain in Gamsa Province. He is freezing to death and feels like he could collapse at any second, but he pushes through the pain with a burning passion. Why? Because for the long-awaited pleasures of life, this cold is absolutely nothing. He completely rejects the idea of just earning a few coins to visit a common tavern for simple entertainment. After 50 years of living as a cold, hollow shadow in the palace, he is starving for the ultimate heights of life. He doesn't just want a fleeting moment. He wants to be surrounded by the most stunning jade beauties in the Central Plains. He dreams of true companionship and the ultimate legendary romance that would make even the heavens jealous. He wants the premium, top-tier dual cultivation of the heart and soul. But to build this dream paradise, he needs immense wealth and unstoppable fame. He must become the most revered hero the martial world has ever seen. Since he retains 50 years of future knowledge from his past life as the head of the Royal Intelligence Agency, he knows every secret, every treasure, and every betrayal. He knows exactly how to pull the strings of the martial world to ensure he sits at the very top. Cheol-su finally reaches the peak. Thinking about his master plan, he accidentally lets out his old, creepy eunuch laugh before quickly stopping himself and realizing he needs to fix that habit immediately. Standing before the gates, he simply screams at the top of his lungs, "Are you there?" And John Young, the formidable leader of the Gongdong Joint sect, steps out, shocked to see a child in this winter storm. Cheol-su immediately turns on the waterworks, playing the role of a desperate orphan who lost his parents to bandits and just wants to become stronger. He begs to be accepted as a disciple. John Young inspects the boy's arms and realizes Cheol-su climbed the freezing mountain using the grounding technique, a foundational method that strengthens the core and dantian. Cheol-su smoothly lies, claiming his parents taught him the moves because they help with stamina. Impressed by the boy's obvious talent, John Young bends the rules and allows him to enter the sect. Following the leader inside, Cheol-su notices that the sect is in absolute ruins, having suffered a massive blow in the dark martial arts war 50 years ago. But Cheol-su smiles. The more chaotic and broken the sect is, the easier it will be for him to rise to power unnoticed. Meanwhile, he makes sure not to let his guard down, secretly doing Kegel exercises as he walks to keep his new body's vitality at maximum strength for his future conquests. Before formally explaining the rules, John Young introduces Cheol-su to his new senior and the main disciple of the sect, Eugene Y. Cheol-su takes one look at his new fellow disciple and completely panics. Gene Y is ridiculously, terrifyingly good-looking. In his past life, Cheol-su had dismissed the crazy rumors about women all over the martial world fighting over Gene Y as mere nonsense. But seeing this incredibly handsome guy in person, Cheol-su feels completely threatened. If this guy is around, his own dreams of building a massive harem are in serious danger. Gene Y kindly asks if Cheol-su is feeling sick and suggests they get along like brothers. Cheol-su is annoyed that his handsome rival is also a genuinely nice person. When Gene Y suddenly grabs his hand to show him around, Cheol-su violently yanks his arm away, screaming, "Stop. I don't want to be touched by you." Gene Y looks hurt and apologizes, explaining that it's his first time having a junior disciple, and he just got too excited. Cheol-su suddenly realizes he's making a massive mistake. He absolutely cannot afford to leave or be kicked out of the joint sect now. Knowing he needs a good relationship for his future plans, Cheol-su quickly drops his attitude. He smiles and calls Gene Y Hyung, means older brother, apologizing for overreacting. Watching from a distance, sect leader John Young smiles warmly. He reminisces about finding the orphan Gene Y 10 years ago, nurturing his genius ever since. The leader knows that Gene Y is the only hope for rebuilding their fallen sect and will inevitably have to clash with men in the martial world. The leader hopes that by interacting with a peer like Cheol-Soo, Jin-Wai will learn to be incredibly careful. Careful about what? Carefully hiding the fact that he is actually a she. In the final panel, the brilliant, handsome male prodigy is revealed to be a gorgeous woman tightly binding her chest in secret. If you want part 2, then just comment Jin-Wai, and I will drop part 2 as soon as possible.